This past April was 50 years since what became known as Black April in the Vietnamese community. It marks the start of the hardship that followed for those in South Vietnam after the fall of Saigon and the end of the Vietnam War. In part two of our special report, 9 and 10's David Lyden and videographer Josh Monroe look at efforts by the Vietnamese community here in Michigan to make sure no one forgets what happened in April of 1975.
Nobody likes war. Something has to end. Something starts. It has to end.
The fall of Saigon marked a defining moment in Vietnamese history. For those left behind after the U.S. withdrawal at the end of the Vietnam War, it also marked a moment of immense loss.
What we're looking at, why we have to remember that? Because today that we lost freedom. We lost our opportunity to speak our mind. We lost the opportunity to do what's from right and wrong. We lost opportunity to gather, to organize, and to be able to speak freely what's in your mind.
Hoa Dinh is the president of the Vietnamese American Association of Michigan. He was one of several speakers at this yearly commemoration of Black April.
I came here in 1982, and I spent 7 years with the new government, communist. And I saw a few of my neighbors who had taken away at nighttime, and you don't see them again. And you never see them again because you don't know what happened.
Sau vài tháng, mẹ con tôi đói khổ.
A half-century of time has hardly dimmed the pain and sorrow felt by those who lived through the fall of Saigon and later survived the perilous journey to leave war-torn Vietnam by boat.
Everybody's migration story is a little bit different. Some are darker than the others. And I think what really appreciative is what this country have provided us, have given us a lot of opportunity for us to grow and give us the freedom to advance ourselves.
It's something the Vietnamese community doesn't want reduced to a mere footnote in the history of the days and years following the end of the Vietnam War.
We learn that regime, that government, we understand them, and we know what they did, and we know how to move on and how to better ourselves and our next generation. Because the next generation is what's really important. They will not forget.
50 years later, the story of the Vietnamese boat people remains one of incredible courage and determination, a journey that was both life-changing and life-defining.
We're not special than anyone else, I tell you what. But we special in the way that we paid too much to be here, right? When you get something free, you don't appreciate as much. When you get something you pay with your life, you could have died at sea, you could have buried at the jungle, you could have got executed for escaping Vietnam. The Vietnamese get here with a very steep price.
It really chronicles the perfect ideology of the American dream. I think you can come here with absolutely nothing and create this life of not only freedom, but success and meaning. And I think isn't that why the US was built? Because people were fleeing from something that did not give them freedom, and we created this beautiful country, this successful country. So I think any story that talks about the plight of people in search of a better life is a really relevant story, and doesn't matter if it's 50 years ago or 100 years ago. I think you have to remember what the American dream is about.